My name is Joan Lane Gordon, and I remember very vividly the day that Kennedy was shot. Everybody was talking about it. It was kind of surreal. They were saying, "Oh my God, the president's been shot," and it was kind of hectic, hysterical, and historical in a sense. And then I stood there, and I was stunned as I watched an open Jeep was circling around the quadrangle, and they had a bullhorn, and they said that the president was dead and that classes were canceled for the rest of the day.
About halfway through the class, the door opened, and somebody, I don't know who it was to this day, but someone stuck their head in the classroom and said that the president has been assassinated in Dallas, and classes are canceled. And Dr. Ballantyne just took his book and closed it up and said, "We're done."
One of our toughest professors was actually laying on the head on the desk crying. Never saw this in the man, never. Never thought he would be that type of person. We asked him what was the matter, and he said he just heard that the president had been assassinated. Classes were canceled, and we met over at Lippert Hall, which was a temporary dining room for us. And I just remember all the classmates graduating there in awe of what had happened.
And people were weeping, and I was standing there in disbelief watching a whole bunch of students cross the quadrangle to the flagpole, and they were all crossing to that point to lower the flag. And I'll never forget it.
I remember walking across the campus. And even to this day, I remember how surreal it was. I crossed the entire campus, across the quadrangle, and not a word was spoken. Hundreds of people passed each other. The bell in Green Hall was tolling. And I sit here today, and I can remember vividly that nobody spoke a single word.
It was dramatic without being rehearsed. It was a dramatic experience to witness. And I think, it couldn't have worked out that way if he had planned it. It was just a stunning moment in time.